I have to be compliant with the new COPPA laws coming to YouTube in 2020, which is why I'm going to start saying the word frick a lot more in my videos. And if you don't like it, then frick you. Hey everybody, it's the McMaster14. Welcome back to more of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we completed the Frog Choir side quest, which was a lot more annoying than it really should have been. And we also started the Bigoron trading sequence, which is what we're going to be continuing with in this episode, so let's get playing. In the last episode, when we left off, we got the poacher saw from the guy that turned into a Stalfos. So what we need to do now is we need to take it, and it's not exactly obvious where you need to take it. We need to take it to the eastern end, or is it western? Yeah, it's the western end of Hyrule. Yeah, it's the western land. I learned never to eat shredded wheat in elementary school. Don't worry, I know my directions. And it's starting to get a bit late, but I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think there's anything else we can do there when it's late. Anyways, go up here, which is actually pretty close to where we caught those two Poes during the big Poe hunt. Still have nightmares about them. We're right up over here. She actually stopped for a second. And we're now in Gerudo Valley. We ride up over here. And we have this bridge right here. And we've gotta jump it. Nice jump, Epona. Yeah, you can hop that. You can hop across that, but you can't hop across a small boulder. You're pathetic. Anyways, we talked to this guy and give him the saw. Or wow, that's painful. We're sticking it into his body. Hey, that saw, it's mine. But I thought I left the saw with my old lady. Ah, well. My Bigoron tool broke, so I was going to Goron City to get it repaired. Your coming here was great timing. Will you give me that saw? Yeah, sure. Good, kid. Thanks. I'm sorry I can't give you something as good in return, but take this anyways. You trade the poacher saw for the broken Goron sword. Visit Bigoron to get it repaired. Now, some of you might think that we need to take it to that, what is it, Navi?
Listen.
Those iron boots look... Yeah, shut up. A lot of you may think that we need to take it to the Goron that sold us the Giant's Knife. Oh, come on, Epona. Come on, you can totally jump that. I have faith in you. Let's back up a bit. Come on, jump it! Thank goodness this isn't timed. Hey, we get the cool music! Now it's daytime. Alright, now let's turn around, and let's actually do the jump right. There we go! Alright, anyways, as I was saying... Go, come on. Alright, as I was saying, some of you might think that we need to take this broken Goron sword to the Goron who sold us the Giant's Knife. That's actually not true. What we need to do is we actually need to take it to the top of Death Mountain. And actually, can we warp there? I think we can warp there. Yeah, I think the warps only don't work if you're on a timed segment. It's hot, we can't stay here very long. Don't worry, we don't need to. And yeah, we still have the Goron sword, so you only can't warp if it's a timed segment. Alright, I actually never tried to warp here, so you can probably imagine how painful this side quest was when I was doing this on older You can probably imagine how painful the side quest was when I was doing this on older playthroughs and I didn't know how to warp. Or I did know how to warp. I just didn't think I could warp to Death Mountain right now. Anyways, that makes things a lot easier. Anyways, you go out here, back to the peak of Death Mountain. We head over here, and this is Bigoron. Talk to him, and we give him a sword. That broken knife is surely my work. I really want to repair it, but because of yesterday's eruption, my eyes are irritated. There are fine eye drops in Zora's domain. Will you find them? If you see King Zora, please go get the eye drops. Okay. You check the broken Goron sword for the yeah, we got it for a prescription. Now we have to go back to Zora's domain. Also, I totally should not take fall damage there. And we have to go get the eye drops. And also, you're probably wondering why we don't just warp there with the Serenade of Water, like we warped with the Bolero of Fire. That's because you actually can't warp to Zora's domain, and you can't warp to Zora's domain in the adult half of the game. The Serenade of Water actually takes you to Lake Hylia, which I always thought was dumb because, as most of you saw, Zora's domain was frozen over, so that underwater warp that we used as a actually no wait, we can still use we can still warp there from Kakiri Forest, I think. But that's actually kind of a bit away, so I think we'll just walk there. Yeah, I know that takes us to Hyrule Field. I don't need to read your stinking sign. And also, you can't actually bring Epona down to the path that leads to Zora's domain, so that's dumb. Yeah, the only way across is to cross this river, and you can't cross it with Epona, which I always thought was dumb because there's actually, if you remember, back on the road to Zora's domain, there were actually like gates that you could use Epona to jump over, which to me never really made sense if you can't bring Epona here in the first place to jump over them. Anyways, we'll use this magic leaf to actually get us back over there quickly. Alright, so this is the drop-off area. Pretty nice way to get pretty far close to the entrance to Zora's domain. Actually, it's a good thing we're coming back here because I think there's something else that we need to get here in Zora's domain. Or we don't need to get it, but I'd like to get it. There we go. I can never get that right anymore. Anyways, that opens up. And I think there's a gold skulltula that we can get, but it's only here at nighttime. Or I guess it technically isn't nighttime in Zora's domain, but you actually need to come here when it is nighttime. We're gonna go up here. We're not gonna talk to King Zora yet. And actually, funny story about this side quest. I actually tried to record this before Alright, is that? Yeah, it's here. Anyways, I actually tried to record this before we went to the ice cavern, like the episode right before we went to the ice cavern. That was originally going to be us completing the Bigoron trading sequence, But I forgot you actually can't complete it until you unfreeze King Zora and get the Zora tunic. And I didn't want to do that before we head off to the ice cavern. So yeah, I got all the way to giving Bigoron the broken sword before I realized that we couldn't do the side quest. So we give him the prescription. Oh, eye drops. You might say we have them. You might say we don't. We do have the ingredients. If you want to take the ingredients to the doctor at the lake laboratory, he can make the eye drops for you. But you need to deliver them fresh. Can you make it before they spoil? You got an eyeball frog. Take it quickly to Lake Haya. You only have 3 minutes? I remember this being 4. Anyways, it's segments like these why you need Epona, because we need to warp all the way, not warp, but we need to go all the way down to Lake Hylia from here in 3 minutes. And potentially less than that, because it's going to take us like almost a minute to get out of Zora's River. But don't worry, if we go down the water portion of the river, we can actually get down a lot quicker. I remember this being quicker. Right, there we go. I thought we were going to swim down here and it would be a lot faster because of this. We'd be swimming with the current. But whatever. Anyways, we get out here. And look, we've already wasted a minute. Thank God the timer stops when you're in song mode. There is Epona. I was worried she was going to get stuck on that little slab of land just outside of Zora's Fountain, like that slab of land right there. And I was worried that we weren't going to be able to ride her. And also, just remember, like I said before, you can't warp to Lake Hylia using the Serenade of Water, because these timers, and I find this really dumb by the way, these timers expire if you try to warp. And also, why do they even need all these extra segments of the quest? Like, the quest could have just ended with us talking to Bigoron and giving him the sword. Like, there's no real need to add these extra segments other than to make an overlong side quest even longer. Like, don't get me wrong, the prize we're going to get after this is going to definitely be worth it, but I feel like it's a little too long. Anyways, we just make it with like a minute to spare. And you really need Epona for this. I don't think there's any way to complete this side quest if you don't have her. If you can complete the side quest without her, then by all means try it and post a video link if you can. But I don't think it's possible to complete it without Epona. We're down to less than a minute, and yeah, we're just now getting here. What do you mean it can't be used here? This is a science test. There we go. Not sure why it didn't work before. Oh wow! I haven't seen eyeball frogs since Zora's domain froze over. These eyeball frogs are so delicious. Tonight, I will cook fried eyeballs for the first time in a long time. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Such great stuff. Please say thank you to King Zora. What? Those are for making Bigoron's eye drops? Oh, how disappointing. You should have said so in the first place. How could it? Alright, just a quick thing. I'm kind of a picky eater, I will admit that, but how are eyeballs super delicious? This medicine doesn't have any preservatives in it, so it won't last long at this temperature. Run as fast as you can to Death Mound. You're young, so you can do it. The world's finest items. Hurry to Bigoron before they go bad. 4 minutes. Okay, so this is the 4-minute segment. Which makes sense because we actually have to like stop right outside Kakariko Village and then walk all the way back. But still, why would medicine without preservatives last only 4 minutes? I mean, I get that medicine needs preservatives and stuff to stay fresh, but still, only 4 minutes. And it really does spoil at this temperature that quickly, then wouldn't it spoil even faster when we get to the top of Death Mountain? Like, I don't want the side quest to be even harder, but still, by that logic, they should immediately spoil as soon as we start climbing Death Mountain and it gets super hot. Anyways, now we're just riding across Hyrule Field. Yeah, just riding around. I guess while we're riding, I could tell you something interesting about the game that I'm not sure I told you guys before. But in the game's code, there are actually R-Wings from Star Fox 64. You guys have heard of Star Fox before. You probably haven't, though. But for those of you who haven't, Star Fox is basically set in a futuristic world where you fly around spaceships as a fox. Pretty simple stuff. Anyways, the R-Wings are the ships that they fly in that Star Fox series, so you're probably wondering what they were doing in Ocarina of Time. Well, fun fact, to create the complex movements of Volvagia, who, if you remember, was the final boss of the Fire Temple, the developers actually used R-Wings to give him those complex movement patterns. So, yeah, next time you square up against Volvagia, try to imagine that he's made up of a bunch of tiny little R-Wings. And I get that I probably should have talked about that, like, you know, when we were facing Volvagia, but I never thought of a good time to speak about it because we killed him so quick. Hashtag brag. So yeah, now we have to climb back up, and the side quest is so freaking long and annoying. Hey, that boulder just clipped through that boulder without interfering with it at all. Cheater. That boulder right there is a cheater. So let's climb up here. Oh, and by the way, like I said before, these time limits automatically expire if you try to warp. So don't warp. Trust me. Ooh, gold Skulltula! We can totally waste a few seconds here. Gold Skulltula token. How many are we up to now? 47. We're almost close to getting the blast reward that we're going to get in this Let's Play. And now we've got to kill these Waltulas. Dumb Waltulas. Dang, I sniped all of them! That was pretty good. Also, I hear that Tektite hopping around on the ground, but he doesn't scare me, because he can't climb. And yeah, just like with the last segment, without a opponent, I'm not sure it's possible. Anyways, have your eye drops, Bigoron. Perfect timing for the rooster. Really? You brought the eye drops? I'm so relieved. I'm going to use them right now. How'd they make that big of an echo? I mean, I guess there's a lot of canyons here, so it could make a big echo. Wow! This is stimulating. It's working great. Now I can get back to my blade business. My work is not very consistent, so I'll give this to you, so you won't forget. After a few days, please return. Just wait. Just wait patiently. You have the Vigoron sword check. This is the claim check for it, so you can't wait for your sword to be... Yeah, so after that, you don't even get your reward right away. This side quest was so long that I had to break it across 2 episodes, and even after all that, we don't get a reward right away. And shouldn't you be working on it? Yeah, whatever. You have to wait 3 in-game days or play the Sun Song 6 times in order to actually get your reward. Play the right note. I was playing the wrong note for like 3 times. So that's 2. There we go, that's 3. That's 4. Yeah, the side quest is so boring that I can't even think of anything to talk about. That's 5. And this should be 6. So now after all that waiting of about 1 minute, we should finally be able to get a reward. Reject him. I made this trade for claim check. Oh right, we gotta give him the claim check. That sword is my finest work. We finally got it. We handed in the claim check and got the Bigoron sword. His blade was forged by a master smith and won't break. So now we don't need the claim check anymore, so we can get that out of our C button. And we also get the Bigoron sword. It replaces our giant's knife and it will never break. So this does twice as much damage as the master sword. And spin attacks have a bigger range, as you can see. However, as a trade-off, just like with the giant's knife, you can't use your shields that well. Some people don't think it's worth all the time, but I definitely do think it's worth it. One of the things that I don't really like about this game, but this was fixed in the 3DS version, if you look at it, it has the exact same sheath as the Master Sword, even though it's a lot bigger. But it was fixed in the 3DS version, so that's at least good. And there was one other side quest that I was hoping to finish up. It was the Happy Mask trading sequence, but we're going to have to do that another time because, well, this is taking quite a while. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we're finally going to be heading off to try and unfreeze Zora's domain and start what is in most people's opinion the worst dungeon of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you can, like, comment, and subscribe because that would really help out the channel. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Mick Master, out.